Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for tuning in. I am back because I'm not feeling tired. I said let me get another reading in, see where the spirit flows, if there's anything else that my Lord will have me share with those who are concerned, with those who care, for those who are here to just tune in for the entertainment. I appreciate you. The last couple of videos had a lot to do with blood, and it's kind of coming together for me now. I don't know if you watched the last two videos focusing on the titles. You'll see some kind of connection there. Okay, so we have the color blue being prominent. It's not the only color that we have discussed in the last couple of videos, but for this video and the last few videos, it has come back up again, okay? And I know that because blue clues is also central blues, okay? The color blue is in his name, is in his title, so blue is relevant here. With blood coming out, and also in the last reading, the moon card came out. I can't help but to make the connection between cycles, a woman's menstrual cycles. We know that it is the moon that regulates that process, okay, that a woman experiences monthly. If that woman is regular, there are cases where it might differ for some women, okay, but on a normal and regular basis, the moon cycle is every 28 days. Okay, so there's something about menstrual cycles here, moon cycles, okay, as it relates to women, the woman's issue, something only women could experience. Then it made me wonder if somebody is using the moon to track ovulation, which it's a practice that is ancient. Okay, before we had the apps on our phone that I use now, it was the moon that helped us remember or expect when our cycle will start and when we will ovulate, when is a good time to engage in coitus, to reproduce, stuff like that. The moon plays a very vital role for women and how her body functions, okay? We are to be in alignment with the moon as women. But I don't want to get too deep into that. What I'm saying about that, I think for whatever energy I am tapping into, or it might relate to the case that I'm working on, there is something very significant about a person's cycle. Okay, the cycle may indicate that a person might have fertility issues. Okay, I'm not going to say this person is infertile, okay, but this person may not have a regular menstrual cycle, okay, which affects the tracking and monitoring of when a egg is released. Okay, you can't track the ovum. I think ovum is singular, ova is the egg. When the period is irregular, it's hard to know when exactly an egg is being released. Therefore, you cannot actually plan a pregnancy, okay? Under those circumstances, it will be very difficult. I don't want to speak in absolute terms, but under those circumstances, it will be difficult to plan a pregnancy. Okay, you will definitely need the assistance of a doctor who specializes in IVF. Okay, not saying for this person to get pregnant they would have to do IVF. The doctor just has to be proficient in knowing how to, or knowing when is the best time for an egg to be fertilized, okay? So I might be speaking about somebody who has issues like this, who has to see a doctor to track ovulation, who has trouble getting pregnant, who has possibly had miscarriages. Okay. Moving on. I don't know if I should talk about Blue's Clues now. So, if you're unfamiliar with Blue's Clues, because like I said, Blue's Clues is not new to the scene. My youngest brother is, I don't know, 15 years. I don't even know because I'm estranged from that side of the family. But it's been a while, okay? Let's just say early 2000s, Blues came on the scene. And what is relevant about Blue for now is, well, of course, dogs don't speak human language. That's for starters. But this pup, Blue's Clues in particular, gave off the impression that he was autistic. I don't know if anybody else got that. It may not be autism, but he definitely gave the vibes that he was, he had some kind of cognitive impairments, okay? But he was still brilliant. Okay, maybe I'm pushing it. He was just nonverbal, okay? Of course, dogs don't speak human language, but in animation, they can, okay? Because it's supposed to be make-believe. But in Blue's case, they still didn't give him the ability to speak. He had to give clues. He was non-verbal, okay? So there might be a non-verbal child in a situation. It doesn't have to be the same situation about somebody who might be having infertility issues, okay? It could be a totally different message altogether. All right, so, and this is just my opinion, my observation. I could be so off, so wrong. So don't be reluctant to correct me in the comment section. But I noticed that Blues didn't use words, okay? Even though the writers and directors, producers of the show could have made him have that ability to communicate using words. Instead, they, I want to say, deliberately made him non-verbals just to focus on other strengths or other ways of communicating without words. I hope. So there's something here about non-verbal communication. It doesn't have to specifically be about a child who is non-verbal, but it could be because Blue's Clues relates to children. It's a children's show. The dog is non-verbal, but the dog is able to communicate in other ways to give clues and cues, okay, for somebody to figure out a puzzle, to figure out a problem, okay? So I don't know if in a situation a child is providing some kind of clues to another adult in ways which words are not being used, exchanged, but there are other cues being studied, being given, being analyzed, being reviewed, being examined, all that stuff. Almost under a microscope, somebody is really looking closely at a child. That word, idiosyncrasies, is coming back up again. So the little things a child does, the characteristics, is being studied by someone, okay? Somebody is getting a lot of clues just from observing a child. And with the nonverbal, it could mean this child may be nonverbal, may be autistic, or has some other mental cognitive disorder, delay, impairment, like I said, or this child is not directly communicating with whoever this is. So I forgot what they call that kind of study, blind study, or what's that word? Secondary observer. It's a particular way of doing research. Man, I miss school sometimes. The objective bystander. Something like that. I don't even think it's so important that I need to look it up. It's just it's one of my pet peeves to know something and then can't remember, but you know. Okay, I know I learned it because I had to, it was a mandatory class I had to take on research. It must be the objective bystander. Okay, so an objective bystander is a person who observes an event or situation without personal involvement or bias, offering a neutral perspective. In a legal context, this term has a specific meaning. The officious bystander test, which refers to a hypothetical nosy observer who helps determine if a term should be implied into a contract. The test considers what such an observer would have thought the contracting parties intended to agree on if they were to have been asked about an unstated term, okay? An objective bystander is someone who is a witness but not a participant in an event. They provide a neutral viewpoint, unlike someone with a personal stake in the outcome. An example would be someone who sees a car accident and can describe what happened without emotional involvement. I'll stop there. Okay, so there is some kind of objective bystander on the scene here that is just studying a child, taking notes. Okay, and this person could, I want to say, be the help. Okay, so this could be a teacher, like an early childhood educator, a tutor, somebody who just personally assists with that child, so a personal support worker, PSW, okay? It's just somebody who, excuse me, who's observing and taking notes and is not biased. It's not prejudiced. This person is not prejudiced. This person is not making any of these notes up. This is real observations that this person is making. And this person might be called in as a witness to give a report, to give a testimony, to provide a statement on what it is they have observed. Okay, and this person does not have a stake in it, so this person is going to speak the truth. Okay, and again, this person could be on someone's staff here. Okay, like a staff member whose role is to assist with children. Okay, because this is giving me children vibes. All right, so I don't know who that message is for, but be cognizant, be conscientious, maybe you should be a little bit more observant with who it is you hire, who it is you have on your staff, who it is you have in your home as assistants, who it is you have on your team. You know, I know there is a saying in Jamaica, I mean, I'm not going to pull it up, but the short version is, when you come here, what you see here, what you hear here, what you do here, da 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 da, etc., etc., let it stay here or don't come back here. Okay, that's like a thing in Jamaica. I'm sure in other countries too, other cultures. But it's almost as if somebody didn't get the memo that that's how it is. It's almost as if somebody didn't understand the terms in a contract of an NDA. I know something about NDA came up in another reading. Okay, somebody, or it seems like the contract doesn't apply to whoever this is. And I know when it comes to situations with children, certain contracts don't hold up. Okay, I know here in Canada, as it should be worldwide, okay, maybe that's wishful thinking, but in most developed nations and countries, when it comes to children, there are agencies, even though there's corruption in those agencies, but we're not talking about that. Let's talk about the objective here. Uh, where, like for instance, schools, CAS, so Children Aid Society, anything that has to do with children. There's something called a duty to report. Let me write that down. So when it comes to a duty to report on any situation that might be harmful or injurious to children, even if I sign an NDA, I have to report. Even if your NDA says what you see here, what you hear here, what you eat here, everything that you do here stays here when you leave here or don't come back here. Even if I sign that in blood, if I witness something happen to a child that would be considered abuse or neglect, I have to report that. So someone might have that outing of a contract because of a duty to report. Okay? Someone's duty to report trumps, overrides, surpasses any contract they have signed. Also with the duty to report, I'm hearing somebody's about to report on something they observed because they feel like it's their duty. Okay? So something they witnessed in a home, within a family, as it pertains to a child or children, they are about to report it to an official, someone in higher authority, because they feel dutiful. They feel like this is their duty. Okay? And that person might be under contract. This could be a staff, because I'm really getting the help, the help, the help, the help. Okay? So this could be the help. And the help could be a cleaner, a chef, somebody who rears and supervises children, teaches children, a driver, a help in any capacity. Okay? But it looks like it might be a live-in help or a help that spends multiple hours, days in a week. The help is there a lot. This person is around this particular child or children or in a home a lot here and has been observing. And I don't know if they are going to use their own volition to go and report, or if they are going to be questioned and then offer up what it is they have been observing. Okay, it could go either way here. But somebody has a duty to report. Somebody is about to report. Somebody's about to get reported. Okay. Something's in a report. Okay, so something could have been reported already. Okay. This could have something to do with somebody's cycle. Okay, maybe somebody's not having a cycle. Somebody's taking notes on that. I don't know how the help would know something like that, if somebody is ovulating or if somebody's having a period. Okay, but some people have very close personal assistants, I guess, who would know. I guess the person to go and buy sanitary napkins and Advil or Motrin, whatever it is you need at that time of the month. I'm not sure, but it seems that somebody knows the 411 here and is about to report something that could get somebody in a lot of trouble here. Nonverbal communication, duty to report. Moon cycle. Too much. Moon, blood, blues, clues. Okay, this could be a baby boy since it's blue, but we don't have to discriminate. Okay, it could just mean small child, young child. Okay, because I said my brother, he was definitely under 5. Under 6. But Blue's Clues. One thing, should I let this drop? Sure. I haven't watched it in a long time, but one thing I do remember, it really helps children develop problem-solving skills, following patterns, sequences, nonverbal cues. Okay. So a child has been giving clues this whole time? Or a clue is found in blue, something about blue. This could be a color, this could be a person. Okay, someone with that name. Okay, there's a clue there. Blue's gonna give a clue. Or blue has been given clues. And I'm not gonna say so much, but I see 3 blue cards on the desk already. Blue on one side, white on the other, so blue and white. That could be significant, blue and white. It's giving boy, baby boy, a boy's nursery, a boy's room. There could be some kind of monitoring system in a child's bedroom. Tell me more. Yeah, a child could be under surveillance here. Okay, I'm not going to push it. Because when children get into the energy, I start feeling a little uncomfortable. So let's see what we have. We have, don't rebel against the commandments of the Lord. Self-explanatory. Hear what God says. Do what God says to do. Okay. We have Donkey Kong here. Okay, so somebody thinks this is a game, because I used to love this game back in the day. I think it was played on Sega Genesis. Okay, I'm hearing this is a saga. Okay, this is a saga. Genesis from the beginning. Okay, it's been a game from the beginning. Somebody's going to be looking like a fool, because I know Donkey doesn't really have the best reputation, even though it was a donkey that the King of Kings came riding in on. Okay, but whatever. Something about a game here, something about a donkey as well. Donkey is also giving me, for some reason, Shrek. Back to children again. I think that's a movie that appeals to children. The donkey in Shrek is a voiceover done by Eddie Murphy. This is a second Eddie Murphy reference. Coming to America. Didn't I mention that he was on the cast? Okay. So I don't know if Eddie Murphy has something to do with something. Never really been a fan of Eddie, to be honest. I don't find him that funny. Don't like all the cosplaying he does. I don't know, just it's not funny to me. But I'm sure he is to somebody, because he's been casted in quite a few movies. Okay, but there's something about Donkey here. You know, Eddie's voice. Eddie Murphy's voice. Shrek. I don't know why I want to shriek for some reason. Like, anyways, we have Moment for Life. Big Track from Queen Nicki Minaj. I fly with the stars in the sky. I'm no longer trying to survive. I believe that life is a prize. But to live doesn't mean you're alive. Don't worry about me and who I fire. I get what I desire. It's my empire. Yes, I call the shots. I am the umpire. I sprinkle holy water upon the vampire. In this very moment, I'm king. In this very moment, I slay Goliath with the sling. In this very moment, I bring. Put that on everything. That I will retire with the ring. And I will retire with the crown. Yes. No, I'm not lucky. I'm blessed. Yes. Clap for the heavyweight champ, me. But I couldn't do it all alone. We. Me and my lord. Young money raised me. Grew up out in Paisley, Southside Jamaica. Queens and it's crazy. Plus it's real hood. Hollywood couldn't change me. Shout out to my haters. Sorry that you couldn't face me. And we ain't cocky. We just vindicated. We have your ex as a Judas. Okay, for somebody here. Okay. He may look like a donkey, okay? He's a Judas, though. Will betray you. Okay. We have lofty dreams are okay. Especially if somebody here is about to have a moment for life. We know in that video, Nicki Minaj had her fairy godmother come in and granted her a lofty experience, okay? Got to get all dolled up, go to the ball, and told her it wasn't just going to be a one-night thing, okay? This is going to be a moment for life, okay? So somebody, and this might be a carryover from the last reading with that Wheel of Fortune coming out, that's saying somebody is going to really come into some kind of big payday, okay, or be rewarded heavily for some kind of work that they are doing, okay? Just don't rebel against the commandments of the Lord. We have curse the fig tree. This doesn't belong in there anymore because I was commanded to curse a fig tree in the early, at the top of the year, maybe February, March. Of course, wasn't something I wanted to do. But I could not rebel against the commandment of the Lord. So I had to curse that fig tree as my Lord desired of me. Okay. Next we have high level of secrecy here. Okay. So I could be speaking to somebody who's about to get sworn in to something. Could be a secret organization, secret society. Could be the FBI, okay? Anything that requires a high level of secrecy, confidentiality. This might be tied to the moment for life. I was gonna say moment of a lifetime. So, maybe your ability to spellbind, do curses, drop hexes. You keep that to yourself. There's a high level of secrecy required to operate with this kind of power. Okay. Let them hear and say it is the truth. This is taken from Isaiah chapter 43, verse 9. If that's not a 3, it's an 8, but it looks like a 3. Isaiah 43, verse 9. Let them hear and say it is the truth. Okay? It is the truth. What's the truth? That you're dealing with some kind of donkey here who thinks he's some kind of King Kong, but he is not. Okay? He's more like the donkey from Shrek. Okay? So, child's play. A kid maybe. Okay? Let them hear it and know that this is the truth. This donkey might be a Judas of some sort. Okay? This donkey might need to get cursed. All right? But something about this donkey is going to bring somebody a moment for life. Maybe you're pointing out who the donkey is. Okay? and what the donkey is complicit in. All right? But some kind of high level of secrecy. Okay, maybe you have been holding on to some kind of secret for a long time, and it's now time to release it. And people are saying, wow, you really know how to hold on to secrets, because I could not hold on to a secret like that for such a long time. Okay, so whoever it is you are, you are confidential. Okay, and lofty dreams are okay. It's okay. It's okay, especially if you're putting in that work. Especially if you know what it is you stand for, and you stand with integrity. Okay, you're dutiful, especially when it comes to reporting crimes involving children, you know, any kind of child abuse. Yes, it's okay to be rewarded. What else? We have the last one, and in the last video, I was talking about when we ride on our enemies, being a song channeled over the past couple of days, actually. And here we have this quote from that song here. Cannot make this up. It says, "Before I leave, make sure everybody heard. No, I meant every mofo word when we ride on our enemies." Okay, that's by Tupac. And I love this quote so much, I said, this is something I would want like on a tombstone. Like, this looks like a cool tombstone, or if you're doing a yearbook pic and you have the caption, this would be mine. You know what I mean? I meant every word. I mean every word I say. Okay? But please don't misconstrue what I mean when I say when we ride on our enemies. Okay? We first, I'm talking about me and X. Okay? Whoever I am channeling. I am not doing it to incite violence. I am going to battle it out in the courtroom. Okay? The enemies are my opponents, the defendants. Okay? Yes, it's going to be a court battle. And I'm going to go hard. So, when we ride on our enemies, let's see what the tarot says, and we'll close it out. So, blue could also be talking about boys in blue. I have been bringing up NYPD. So, boys in blue could be the boys in blue, could be cops here. Okay. I hope I'm communicating clearly to where they wouldn't have to examine or read into my nonverbal communication. I try to be very direct in my speech as often as I could be. Sometimes I have to speak in code, all right? But for the most part, I don't really back down. I don't find it hard to communicate. So, NYPD, if you want to talk to me, my email could be found in the description box, okay? Sleeping on this case. Yeah, my daughter's in the background, and that's how I feel like the NYPD is sleeping on the case, sleeping on the job, just sleeping. But anyhow, I didn't want this video to be about X when it doesn't have to be, okay? Hierophant. Authority. I say somebody due to report. What's this? So the Hierophant is showing itself, but it's the second card to come out. The first card didn't show itself. And this is the Three of Swords here. But it's given unbreak my heart. So unbreak. It's in the reverse. Let me get more. Say you love me again. Someone's name could be Tony. Undo this hurt you caused when you walked out the door and walked out of my life. Uncry these tears. I've cried so many nights. Unbreak my heart. Somebody's flipping because the cards are flipping, but they're not flipping out. So somebody's not flipping out. That somebody flipped. That somebody went to the officials. Some kind of duty to report. Somebody reported to the officials. But somebody's not flipping out. Hence this in the reverse. Like somebody doesn't care anymore. Like it is what it is. They're not flipping out when they find out that somebody on their staff could possibly be undercover, could be an official. So if this person is not reporting out of a duty, like a natural duty or contractual duty, this person is reporting because they are undercover. They've been the authority the whole time, pretending to be the help. And when this is uncovered, somebody's not going to flip out. I think somebody feels defeated. The Page of Pentacles here on the bottom. I think somebody feels a little defeated. They're not flipping out. Well, I guess you wouldn't flip out when you realize it's the feds, right? It's almost like you got to surrender. So this person, somebody's surrendering. I know in the last poem I read, I shared, I said, did I blow my cover? Am I undercover? So somebody here is definitely undercover and is going to do something to blow their cover, or is going to actually reveal themselves like, did I blow my cover? I'm undercover. You're under arrest. This could also mean somebody's heart's going to drop too, like when it happens. That's also coming in. Six of Swords. Somebody's going to be taken away by the feds. By an undercover who's been working in their home. Queen of Wands. This could be a woman. It could be a fire sign. Okay, but the Queen of Wands is also giving me not just confidence, but competence. Somebody who's good at their job. Okay, so she's playing this role very well. This is a female undercover. You wouldn't be able to tell. Okay, so she's really undercover. Okay, she could even be really attractive. Not on the young side though, like a mature woman or mid-age, but attractive, but doesn't look like a cop. Looks like a mom, like a MILF. This person may like cats. This person may like sunflowers. Okay, this person may not be one of much words. Like doesn't speak a lot either, but always watching. She's an observer. This person is always watching. Okay, so this help, because Coming to America came out in the last reading, this help could be of a different nationality, different ethnicity, speaks a different language. Okay, it might not be the same. You know, I've been channeling the movie The Others, and this is what it's given now too. So this is The Others. So you know how back in the day, white folks will have, you know, black slaves, or, you know, the black help, house attendants. It could be a situation like that, okay, to where a white family has Spanish help, or black help, or a black family has white help, Spanish help. Okay, the help is not the same race, ethnicity, nationality as the homeowners or the person who hired them. Okay, they are the others. But the others have been watching, because in the movie, oh my goodness, in the movie, the others, they kept watching Nicole Kidman, how she, you know, operates as a mother with her children. You know, there's like 3 others. And they would kind of talk about her behind her back. They'll have their whispers like, she really thinks she's doing something here. Like, she's so inept or inexperienced, or I don't know. They would just like offer to help, because the women, Nicole, she came off as aloof. I don't know. But they would talk and they were like, when should we tell her? Like when should we tell her? Like, how come she hasn't figured it out yet? And finally, they revealed the graves. I think the children finds the graves. Oh, such a movie, man. The children finds the graves and sees their own names on it and their mother's name, realize, oh my gosh, we're dead. And then they look around, they see the 3 others coming towards them. Oh no, sorry. The children sees the graves, but it's the names of the help on the graves. And the children's like, what? They're the help. How are they dead? You know? And come to find out, the children are also dead, along with their mother, Nicole Kidman, and their father died at war. Okay, so where am I going with this? Someone doesn't know that they're being watched. It doesn't have to be by the dead, by the way. The others, the help, are watching the homeowners, the mother with her children, taking notes, ridiculing her, criticizing her, just undermining her parenting. And then they're also wondering how come the mother can't figure out who it is they are, who it is they really are. The others. So in this case, the others are the feds, the authorities, the boys in blue, child protective services or children aid services. Okay, this person, this Queen of Wands, is the others. It's going a little bit longer than I thought it would. We have the Emperor in reverse, so a boss. He's going to be taken down by officials. So I'm putting it right underneath the Hierophant just to line things up here. Okay, and now the Emperor is next to the Queen of Wands. Okay, so maybe this Queen of Wands, her main objective was to take down this boss, this father, because the Emperor could also represent father, okay? So this Queen of Wands, it seems like her mission, because she's looking how it is right here. So on my board, it's like this. So it's like she's observing him, essentially. Okay. But it seems like she was sent in by officials. Okay. Possibly because it has been reported that this boss did something, brought somebody some kind of pain. Could be a child. I don't know. Okay. I'm just gonna get one more. So it looks like somebody was brought in, sent in by the officials. Somebody's working for the officials. Somebody's reporting to the officials about a boss, about a father. Okay. Maybe the officials want to inflict pain on a father, on a boss here. Why they sent in this person. I'm also getting, you would never think that this person is involved in on this, working against this Emperor or father here, this boss. because it looks like this person wouldn't hurt anybody with the Three of Hearts. The Three of Swords in the reverse above her. It looks like, you know, they say, oh, she can't hurt a fly. Oh no, she'll never hurt anybody. Oh my God. It's almost that. So this woman, if it is a female, again, she's playing the role well. You would never expect this. Page of Cups coming out. Also in the reverse. I want to say things are in the reverse, but they're not. Judgment. Judgment Day. There's a child involved. This could be a little boy here. It could be about a loss of a little boy. What's underneath Judgment? King of Wands, fire sign. Officials have been sent in to investigate something about a little boy. Like, this is a really difficult situation, even for me, tapping into this, seeing this here. There's some kind of reckoning about to take place. When the report is in, I know I said something about a report in the last thing, it just came out. Somebody's filing a report, and I'm telling you, this information is damning. It's about a King of Wands. Look at this, I can't make this up. Tower is next. Because the Emperor is a fire sign, so is the King of Wands. This woman could also be a fire sign, but now with the King of Wands here on the right and the Queen of Wands on the left and the Emperor in reverse in the middle, it's almost like the family business, the whole family's under review, the whole family's going down. The whole family is gonna lose, or somebody's gonna lose their whole family, including a child. Now we have the Page of Swords, so it could be 2 children here. It could be an air sign or a water sign, child, or both. It's crashing down. Officials are looking into the loss of a child or the disappearance of a child. Or the nonverbal cues of a child. I'm gonna close it out. It's all, I'm hearing It All Falls Down by Kanye West. All falls down. It's gonna end in sorrow, loss, pain, betrayal, heartbreak. Okay. Nothing more? That's the bottom of the deck. All right. The Fool again. 3 times the Fool. 3 times the Fool. Let me cut this deck. The Hermit in the reverse. I'm hearing they have all they need. They have all the information they need now. The investigation is over. They're moving in. They're moving in, guys. Whoever this message is for, I just want you to know that they're moving in on the entire family, on the business, on the kids. Someone doesn't even see all this coming. They're like, Someone has been playing the fool the whole time, and it could be somebody undercover playing fool to catch wise. Play fool to catch wise. This person might be pretending like they don't even know English when they do. Playing fool to catch wise. Oh! I think that's it for the night. But for somebody here, I don't know why I felt led to pull, like split the deck to take this up. It's about to be a victory lap, and it could be for these investigators, whoever is doing this reporting on what they've been observing the whole time. I leave you with my love.